On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock,
Twitter gives the chop to the crop, and we're not talking tops.
Yelp helps with new features for advertisers.
Shine up those kneecaps, baby, because we've got a lot of news coming from YouTube Shorts.
All on today's show.
Marketing O'Clock is your weekly dose of digital marketing news, a proud part of the Search Engine Journal Podcast Network. We record every week from the Cypress North Studios, located in beautiful Buffalo, New York. Tune in to our critically acclaimed Famous Friday news show for insights, updates, rants, and much more as we cover the full gamut of digital marketing for you. If you want to follow along, just check out our show notes or head over to marketingoclock.com for all of the links from today's articles. And please subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shep.
I'm Mark Salzarelli.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it is officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on May 14th, 2021.
You can catch our Famous Friday news shows on youtube.marketingoclock.com or your favorite podcast player each and every Friday morning.
All your digital marketing news from the week.
Powered by the digital marketing community.
And if you want to join the conversation, hit us up. We're at Marketing O'Clock everywhere.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Mark, we haven't seen you in a bit.
I know. It's been a hot minute, but I've been busy.
You have some fun things to share?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
I moved and I was shopping at Target and I had I feel like a very important rite of passage where someone mistook me for a Target employee. It's never happened to me before, but I feel like it happens to everyone at least once in their life.
So
That happens to me at Home Depot.
You wore red?
No, I was wearing purple, which is the most confusing part. I wasn't even wearing red. I was wearing a purple fleece. And this woman came up to me and was asking me like if we sold men's wallets.
Oh my God. Well, I feel like it's better at Target than Home Depot. That's a little
it's like, I know I'm dirty, but like, what are you doing here?
It's
like,
the zip off
I'm working.
pants.
Like, I'm getting lumber.
That's hilarious. It hasn't happened to me yet, but I don't wear a lot of red. What about you, Greg?
Yeah, so it was Mother's Day weekend this past weekend, and my wife went out to tennis camp. So I'm like, I'm going to take the kids and go camping in the backyard.
Which, first of all, is just incredible that she went to tennis camp
That's
on
what she
Mother's
does.
Day. Like,
she's like, I got to get out
Yeah.
of here. I'm going to massages, tennis, whatever. I don't care. So we're like, all right, we'll go camping. And then it was like very cold. And we're like, oh, we're going to go camping anyway. And my kids have like sleeping bags that aren't rated that low. So I'm out there and I've got like an inflatable mattress and the cold air is just coming through. And the ceiling of the tent's just a screen. So all the hot air is just going up. So the whole night, I'm just sitting there. My wife's getting massages, doing tennis and spas and all this stuff. And I'm just like shaking the kids every hour. I'm like, hey, are you warm? You want to go inside, buddy? And it's just like me that wants to go inside. But yeah, that was my Mother's Day weekend. And hey, this is your first Mother's Day weekend.
yeah, it
What
was
about
okay. Well, Mother's Day was great. I just wanted to talk to Mark about my baby. She's kind of an influencer because she's balding. I guess it's the thing that happens, like the way she lays in her crib, her hair is falling out. But the way it's happening, like it really looks like a mullet.
But isn't it like the reverse mullet where it's where the head touches?
It's like this line right here is empty. So it's like long in the back, but it's like pushed back in the front.
Okay,
and then
my
there's
daughter's
this emptiness.
all fell off behind, and we would her nickname was Peaky because she looked like a Peaky Blinder. Her haircut looked like a Peaky Blinder.
Yeah, but she's, it's not that she's balding or she needs to start hair club for babies. It's just that she, heard from the show, because we listen all the time, that mullets are trendy now. So that's what she's choosing to do.
Yeah. Yes, this is her choice.
It's the modern mullet, though, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got a fade on the sides.
Perfect.
So that was the party in the front. Let's get to the business. Quick reminder, if you did not tune in last week or the week before, we now have a Marketing O'Clock community on Discord.
And how dare you?
You can find it at community.marketingoclock.com, and it is really awesome in there. The Discord is really popping off. We have different channels for paid, organic, and social, and we have some great people in there. So if you have a question or something new that you found or a news story, people are sharing it in there. We're talking about everything, and it's really fun. Also, the Shootin the Heck channel is really fun, and there are quite a few fun business memes happening. We also have our own YouTube channel now, so don't forget to subscribe and like this video at youtube.marketingoclock.com. And if you subscribe and post in Discord, this is your last chance to claim one of our amazing paid search shirts, bid to the bone, with this fun heavy metal skeleton bending to the bone. We'll show it on the screen. It's amazing. You want to claim one. So post in the giveaway channel that you're subscribed, and we will get your size and send you a shirt. That is at community.marketingoclock.com to subscribe to Discord. And getting into the news this week, Yelp announced new features for advertisers. First, they are introducing custom location targeting that allows businesses to designate specific locations for their ads to appear. Before this, they could only advertise in a radius around their location. They're also redesigning the budget editor, and it now includes machine learning generated budget recommendations. I wonder if it's just to raise your budget all the time, like some other platforms. We'll have to wait and see.
What platform is that?
That could be.
Weird.
They're also expanding advertising opportunities with Yelp Connect. So if you're not familiar with this, it's kind of like Google Posts, and it updates. If you update it, it will show on your business's page, and it could also show up in the feed for people who bookmarked or followed your business's Yelp profile. Now the post can show up to people who have interacted with similar businesses or search for relevant categories. They have a few more exciting updates. They have a step-by-step guide to help business owners set up their profile, a revamped ad dashboard for the Yelp Business mobile app, including some features that were previously only available on desktop, and guidance on ad text to help business owners write more compelling ad copy. I hope it's not just your competitors' terms like we see on some other unnamed ad platforms.
A Shopify website.
Yeah. So do you guys have any thoughts on this before I share some of my favorite Yelp posts that I've seen?
No, I like it. I think the radius is nice, but it's also not perfect. Like you can expand, and the example they have is kind of a business covering all the way from San Jose to San Francisco and right up the coast. And it's like you cover this area right up the coast where radius, you're going to be out in the ocean. And so I like that aspect of it. I think it gives you more granular targeting. I'm all for it.
That's nice.
Yeah, especially if you're doing like delivery and things. It's really important.
Yeah, because then the mileage isn't as much as more like population density. And, I don't know. I dig this.
Yeah, I just kind of forgot about Yelp for a minute. I didn't know people were still using it because I don't.
Me too, which is why I found these fun Yelp posts that I want to share really quickly.
I'm excited.
Okay, so first of all, we have Ebony. She has a review for her dentist, and she says, Dr. Funt, which is first of all an amazing name, like that should be on your list, Greg, is an OG. Came in, introduced himself after making a few jokes, then proceeded to rip 4 wisdom teeth from my mouth like a boss without breaking a sweat, but definitely a struggle. My wisdom teeth were stubborn to say the least, just like me, but he managed to get them out in less than 45 minutes. This is going to hurt like a son of a heck in a few hours, though. And then she has a beautiful picture of her teeth.
He gave her the teeth?
Also,
The tooth fairy needs to have them.
I knocked my daughter's tooth out yesterday.
Oh, what were you doing?
Well, it was about
like
to
a
fall
boss.
out. No, yeah, I'm like Dr. Funt over here. But I was drying her hair off and drying her face, and it was dangling, and I just was doing that, and she's like, and her tooth fell out.
Yeah, so
And the tooth fairy only had, the dad fairy only had $4.
Okay, well,
She's upset.
My daughter listens to this show, so shut your mouth. Second of all, the tooth fairy's going to come for Ebony, too, because the doctor did let her take her teeth home. Okay, another quick one. Did you know you can update your reviews? Thank God, because this person updated the bus review to 3 stars after the last bus they were on hit 2 pedestrians and kept going.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Keep going.
What bus is this? Is this the bus that drives by us every day? Are they going to hit us?
Yeah. And then we have a review from Abe L. for Ford's Theater. Abe says, was murdered here. Would not recommend.
But he still gave it 2 stars.
Yeah.
Like, what? It must have been a good play.
The show was pretty good. It was worth it.
What else is happening?
All right. This week we have a lot going on with YouTube. And let's start with shorts. We're going to kind of condense a bunch of news here on YouTube. We've talked about this many a time in the past, but like me on a hot summer day, YouTube is chasing the TikTok reel style video by unzipping those convertible pants bottom and freeing those calves up with shorts. And I mean, you got to hand it to the short people because they can't reach it. No, anyway.
You just made the story made news so you could make all these shorts jokes.
There will be no more shorts.
Free
jokes
up the
throughout.
calves.
Okay. So first up on shorts, there's now 60-second recording. So before you could only have a 15-second duration, and they made it mediums with 60 seconds. There's also new Shorts video filters where you can switch from different filters in either the recording or the editing screens with the Shorts camera. And you can also color correct footage. And one other question too. Do you know how short people cut their pizza?
With a knife? I don't know.
With Little Caesars.
Oh my God.
Also coming to Shorts are...
I'm offended. I'm offended.
All right.
I'd
Mark
like
is
to
aghast.
hop on that 2-star bus and get out of here.
All right. Well, you also have video captions, so you can have more accessible videos, and you can add captions in 2 different ways. You can do it automatically using speech to text technology from YouTube, or you can manually add in your own captions. And then lastly, there's going to be a Shorts tab on the homepage. So in your YouTube mobile app, you can see more Shorts content if you just want quick, now 15 to 60 second videos. And we'll keep it on Shorts here. And speaking of which, do you know why there's not that many short chefs?
Well, on Kids Baking Championship, they stand on crates.
Because they get a lot of tall orders.
Because the stakes are too high.
Oh,
All
so
right.
sad. I hope we don't have any short listeners.
So anyway.
Yeah, that was a lot of short jokes.
Oh, well, hang on to your butts here. Because next up, YouTube is introducing a YouTube Shorts Fund. And they're going to be putting their money where their summer leg attire is they're announcing a YouTube Shorts Fund, which is $100 million distributed over the course of 2021 to 2022. Anybody making shorts is eligible to participate by simply creating their shorts to delight the YouTube community. So each month, they'll reach out to thousands of creators whose shorts receive the most engagement and reward them with money for their contributions. So the Shorts Fund is not limited to just creators in the YouTube Partner Program. Creators will be eligible if they create content for shorts and adhere to community guidelines. And then lastly, with the YouTube potpourri of news here, YouTube has launched community posts. Well, when they launched community posts, you couldn't see any analytics data. So they launched analytics in conjunction with community posts. And community posts are ways that creators can talk to the community without it being a specific video or a shorts. So you now can see the 3 different things, essentially. You can see the ability to get metrics, and right now it's impression and engagement rates in YouTube Analytics. And you can also see, or you can now add in multiple images into the community post. So it doesn't just have to be one picture. You can put more than one to show what's happening. So we can have a picture of, if we had enough followers, which we don't because we're a new channel, we could have different pictures of us all sitting around. It'd be a new episode dropping on Friday. And then lastly, in the complete reversal of Clubhouse, let's call it the House Club, YouTube is letting creators schedule community posts on iOS, where before you could only do it on Android. So they're kind of staying true to their Android roots there, doing that first, and then bring it back to iOS. But if you have something that you want to say, I'm going to schedule it. I know the actual video is dropping at this time. I'm going to schedule ahead of it. You can now do it on iOS. So a bunch of cool stuff happening to YouTube. Your thoughts?
Well, I just think, first of all, so they're rewarding people for making shorts, possibly. That's just like what Snapchat did, and it's just a sign that it's a feature that nobody asked for. Right?
You're preaching to the choir. You know my stance on this. I think YouTube longs are where it's
You
at.
shouldn't have to pay for people to use your product.
I think
That's a
this is
bad
our
product.
next hustle. Like, this is free
This is
money.
it?
Yeah, we
Shorts?
just need engagement. Let's do it.
Should we just chop one episode into like 20 episodes and throw them up?
Yes.
I don't think we'll be winning any awards for our content.
Intern producer Caleb, do you consume a lot of short video content?
I do now, since like the beginning. Or you mean like YouTube shorts or just short video in general?
Short video in general.
Yeah, a lot of short video, like whether it's Snapchat or TikTok or stuff.
Do you
like
consume a lot of YouTube video?
that. Yeah, I
Do
do.
you consume a lot of YouTube short video?
I do not.
I just think it's not intuitive to the way the platform is designed.
Yeah.
Like you're going out and like finding content or
Yeah.
it's being suggested to you. It's not like a TikTok where you're just kind of like tapping through. You put in work to find the content, so there needs to be more of a payoff than 15 seconds.
I know, and it's like you have the again. I talk about it every week. I whine about it. I watch the majority of stuff I watch is on a big TV, and it's YouTube, and that's what I watch. And I like going the opposite way, where they're getting this goofy vertical video on the YouTube platform that's not made for it, and it's just a very odd combination. They're just like segmenting so much. So anyway, to cut a long story short, I became a film editor.
Oh, tell me more.
That's it. That's a joke.
Oh, that was...
Long story short?
To cut a long story short, I became a film editor. Caleb's laughing. All right,
I'm still gonna put some booze on.
Over to you, Mark.
Oh, thank heavens that's over.
Should I have made it shorter?
Oh my God.
Alrighty now.
I'm giving that the chop, but Twitter is also giving something else the chop, and that is the crop, as announced by Twitter on Twitter, at Twitter on Twitter.
Can we call this a crop top then?
No,
what
that
it's
doesn't
not
make
top.
any sense.
Okay.
It's just a crop top to go with your shorts.
Oh, perfect.
I'm giving you the chop. The crop. You're cropped out of this conversation. No bird too tall, no crop too short. Introducing bigger and better images on iOS and Android, now available to everyone. And they gave this lovely before and after of this bird with an extremely long neck. I think this neck is like 3 feet long, and what you would see on the old Twitter app and on the new Twitter app. And I love this bird. I want to be best friends with this bird. Like, this is the new Twitter bird, in my opinion.
Is it a real bird?
No, I don't like it.
It's like a giraffe bird.
Yeah.
It's like Bjorn's dress.
You know, Greg just wishes the neck was short.
No, I just don't like. I don't like those. Swans are evil, mean birds. It looks like a swan to me. And then the way they hit other birds with the neck, this bird is too dangerous. I don't like it.
Wow.
Swans are bullies.
Okay.
But what about
Take
like
your word for
ostriches?
Ostriches suck. They're my least favorite bird.
No, emus are worse.
Really? Because I had an ostrich rip a cup of food out of my hand.
Where,
It was
where are you
hungry.
hanging out with ostriches?
It's a long story.
Was this on a vacation with your wife?
No, it's in Batavia, New York.
Wait.
It's a long story.
You know, the wild ostriches of Batavia, New York. But so we're very excited we can see full images on Twitter, especially when we're getting all of these vertical images people are posting. But we did have someone chime in just to remind people this isn't completely true. So we had its ringer at MMMatches on Twitter. Good morning. Let's talk about the new Twitter crop. It's not gone, just way less aggressive. So it's a 3-to-4 ratio versus a 16-to-9. It's still 16:9 on desktop, which that's just putting that out there. They're not correcting Twitter. Twitter did say this was only iOS and Android. Multi-image posts haven't changed. Those will still be in the old format, which I think makes sense because how would you even lay that out if you had different full-size images? Like, that wouldn't make sense. And there's still kind of the rounded corners, so you're going to lose on the image no matter what. And its ringer put together this lovely graphic of how your images will crop based on where someone is viewing them. So if you have questions, I would just go check out this tweet. It'll be in the show notes. Subscribe to our newsletter, and you can see how your images will match up with the new cropping feature. And the last person chiming in is Harvey at Harvey McCabe. Social media managers everywhere are shedding a lone tear of joy as they realize their Square assets now work on Twitter.
Yeah, that's really nice. Like, this is going to change people's lives.
Yes. You can just cross-post Twitter, Instagram. It's great. Still will probably look weird on LinkedIn.
But who cares?
But you can post it on Twitter. Any other thoughts?
I gotta say, they should all make these nice guides that show what it would look like in the feed. Like, how beautiful.
I just don't know why you don't do it for desktop too. Like, it's not that hard to do it for desktop. Just do it for desktop.
It's interesting. I think Twitter as a company is operating on the assumption that like no one uses Twitter for desktop, but I mostly use
Have
Twitter
they
for
ever heard of Biz
desktop.
Twitter?
Twitter's operating in complete silos where nobody talks. There's got to be like a mobile division, a desktop division, an ads division that just can't even accept communication. It's a completely different.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you.
We simply deliver the take for your consumption.
We give no opinions. We don't influence.
You make the call.
And this week's take of the week comes from Sean McGinnis at Sean McGinnis on Twitter. And he says, wishing a happy Friday to everybody, except the 4% of Kuru customers, and that's his company, who interacted with 12 plus different channel touch points this year prior to converting. And I appreciate the people that go through all that and still convert. Like, at least they converted.
Don't
yeah.
they say it takes like 17 plus touches to convert someone?
I don't know, but that seems like a lot. 17 plus
Some
to
people
convert?
are touchy.
I mean, at least they converted at all. They could have like gone through 12 plus and dropped off.
It might be more
I'm gonna
like...
click on all of your ads and never make a purchase.
I mean, yeah, in Kuru, our shoe, it's a shoe company, so it's D2C, which shouldn't have that many. It's not like it's SaaS company or something like that.
I guess the things I sell have too many touch points.
No, I do that too. Are you kidding? With like remarketing and stuff? Like I click on so many ads before I buy things.
Mine
Don't
is
tell
more-
Sean.
I guess he hates me.
Bye.
And now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
This is just something you might not have seen.
Maybe something that you overlooked.
But you shouldn't have. ICYMI people, Julie Bacchini at Neptune Moon on Twitter. This week she shared, my Google Ads headaches continue. Today I'm trying to set up a DSA campaign, but it is telling me that my main URL is invalid. You know, the one which I'm sending all non-DSA traffic without an issue. Anyone else had this happen?
That sounded like Julie.
Yeah.
In her clubhouse or in her Twitter spaces now. She's like, right?
She's like kind of creeping up on the Queen of Spice.
Ooh, don't tell Pamela.
Speaking of the Queen of Spice,
Queen
she
of Spice.
replied and helped. So Pamela Lund at Pamela_Lund replied and said, you just have to use the www.blank.com portion and remove the HTTPS. And Julie said, good to know, that was it. Facepalm, thank you. I have not done DSAs in a while, which I didn't know that was a thing. And like Julie seemed like really embarrassed. Like she replied a couple of times, but like it happens to everyone. Like PPC chat is the best. And Larry Chassie replied too and said, is there a support group for this? Because I do the same thing every single time. So like, yeah, first of all, I did not know that. Now I do. Second of all, why?
Yeah, this doesn't seem like a very smart feature.
No.
To be fair, Jenny chimed in and said, we're going to take a look at it.
Okay,
So,
that's great.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jenny.
In the
Google Ad Search
meantime,
Liaison already paying off.
yeah. In the meantime, include the www. And before we get into the lightning round here, we have our new piece of paid search swag. They are our Starbucks inspired cups that say, you're not drinking light roast or medium roast or dark roast. You have high ROAS. They thought it was a typo when we sent it to the printing
Yeah,
company.
we should have the T falling off like down the side.
Oh.
But this is also, cool story, the worst print job that I've ever seen. You can barely read the marketing in Marketing O'Clock. So we've got these over on community.marketingclock.com in the giveaway section. If you want one, you can get one.
Yes. And if you already claimed one on Twitter a few weeks ago, I got your address. I'm not creepy and I'm not going to show up at your house and we're going to send it your way.
High roast.
Now it's time for this week's lightning round.
Pew, pew.
At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid news, I have more information on the story from last week about the 2-line text ads in Microsoft that they are testing. John Lee from Microsoft Advertising said that 2 or 3 of your headlines will show no description and there will be a URL. So your third one might drop off. You really need to pin things if you're doing anything responsive.
How is this
no
good?
description? I don't know. I'm like dying to see one. Like if you see one, we all know I'm not using Bing. Like please take a screenshot and send it my way.
My only thing is like, there are so many ads already on Bing. I think they're trying Microsoft Bing. They're trying to just cram more ads in.
Yeah?
I think so.
You could fit another ad if you remove all of them.
I don't know.
I want to see it. So to make matters worse, Brett Brodowski thought of a really good question that I didn't think of. He said, is there a way to monitor these? Like any way to know this is the version of your ad that's showing? John said, Brett, in short, we are expecting this format to have a relatively low footprint, no additional reporting layers at this time. Should the footprint grow, we will revisit that decision.
I'm kind of assuming this is going to be like on some of like the syndicated search partners types of things.
Maybe.
And not like the actual.
That's a good
like
thought.
not on Bing, but maybe they like there's another search engine that's now using Microsoft ads to power their ads, and they're like, we can't do that. And they can only have like 2 headlines.
Yeah. So if you see one anywhere, let me know. And Luke from our Discord community is keeping us updated on the opt-out rates of iOS 14.5, and it goes really well with his avatar. As we said last week, he has the dog burning, saying this is fine.
This is fine.
And he's just like updating us on how many people are opting out. So basically, there's this dashboard from Flurry Analytics that shows the live opt-out rates. And around the world, there are about 12 to 13% of users who are allowing tracking. But in the US, it's about 4 to 5%, which I think is so weird. Like, why is it different in the US? Are we talking about it more here?
I do think it's the news cycle.
Yeah.
I think everyone is still bitter from Cambridge Analytica, and that is it. Facebook doesn't have good PR here.
Yeah. So we'll let you know next week. Luke will update us on.
I just like I keep seeing ads from Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, do you like personalized ads? Are good." It's like, I thought you couldn't do support because of COVID, and I am making these ads. Get out of here!
I haven't seen any yet.
I can't wait for the ads that are like 95 to 96% of iPhone users hate small business.
And Kenshu published a monthly paid media spend snapshot for April 2021. The key takeaways between March and April of this year: spending in paid search dropped 1%.
Lower your budgets.
Average CPC rose 5%. Spending in social advertising dropped 8%. Average CPN in social rose 7%. Spending in retail media dropped 6%, and average CPC in retail media rose 3%. And we just need to call Barry, because I give these charts the worst chart award. Like, they're literally, Greg acted like I was crazy, but they're making my head explode. Like, why is the range there? They're both percentages on each axis.
Goodness.
Like, it's just too much.
This is
Wait.
awful.
Okay, thank
Those
you.
groupings are not proportional.
Oh my
so
goodness.
confused.
Doesn't make any. No.
Barry would never use this chart.
No, this would never grace the prestigious pages of Search Engine Roundtable.
Is this like when you go, like you're in college and you take like a market research or like a data analysis class, and they're like, this is what a bad chart looks like that is confusing or misrepresenting information.
This
to
is
the
group
viewer.
work. This is when a group comes together and makes something. This is group work.
I was going through my stories and I opened the article and I was just like, I need to walk away from this. Like, I sent it to Jess. I was like, this is unbelievable. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not alone. And next up, TikTok is announcing new features to help SMBs maximize their return on the platform. Basically, they're encouraging people to use hashtag support small business and hashtag TikTok made me buy it.
Ugh.
Business owners can also share their experience and give us a peek into their world. So this is a side of TikTok I haven't really seen, but they had like these nice ladies making soap, and there was such encouraging music playing in the background. And they were talking about how like the pandemic hit and they didn't know what they would do, but then their confetti soap blew up on TikTok and saved the day.
What would you think? Like, your business is going to blow up. There's no soap. There's nothing in the stores.
This is confetti soap, though. It's not just any soap.
I don't even have a clue of what that means.
But nobody would be ordering their soap
to come from the ceiling or
It's
something?
like funfetti cake, but it's soap.
Yeah, it's just pretty looking.
I am lost.
It's like a bar of soap that's filled with confetti.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like it's like little soap cutouts.
You have like a confetti thing in your shower and you like pull a lever and like soap
Ooh.
confetti falls down on you.
That's a great TikTok idea. Anyway, check it out. TikTok will make you buy it. They also announced a new partnership with Nielsen, which will enable businesses to utilize Nielsen-designated market areas, geo-targeting for their campaigns. And they also announced that TikTok for Business Club on Clubhouse, where they're hosting a series of interviews with SMBs this month.
No thanks.
Like, that just makes no sense to me. Like, why wouldn't you just have a channel on TikTok and like promote your own platform? I don't have time for this.
Nobody does.
And from Larry Chassis at L Chassis on Twitter, there are new insights in Merchant Center for people who use Google Buy. He has a screenshot of new data for top position wins and top position changes. He says this is similar to how Amazon shows you how often you win the buy box in competitive prices. We'll have a screenshot of this on the YouTube, or you can head over to Larry's Twitter. And Apple acquired the mobile ad company Quattro Wireless.
Hashtag TikTok made me buy it.
This makes it seem like they're trying to ramp up their mobile advertising presence, which is a real gut punch to Google and Facebook, right? Like they made advertising on their phones kind of impossible, and now they're like investing in it more.
I mean, they did get called out. I don't remember who it was, but it might have been Facebook who was like, you're just going to make your own ad platform now.
Yeah.
And they're doing that.
It's not about privacy. It's about grinding the bones of their enemies. Like, what are they doing? And Tim Jensen at Timothy J. Jensen on Twitter has a poll. He's asking what the current percent of search terms you're seeing hidden by Google in your accounts. There's a lot of 51 to 75% in there, and that's just really sad.
Yeah, we need a trigger warning for that.
It's really sad.
I am really happy he used proportional ranges, though.
Yes.
Yeah, he knows how to make a poll.
Google is hosting a Google Marketing live stream on May 27th at 8 a.m. 11 a.m. if you're on the East Coast with me.
And everything should be reported East Coast, to be fair.
Of course we say that. We live here.
I mean, yeah, but Google's headquartered on the West Coast.
I don't care.
There's
It's
a
more
lot.
convenient for me, Mark.
That's smart.
What also will be convenient for you are the seminars. There's a lot of
No, they won't.
stuff about, looking to the future. I bet there's going to be a lot of automation.
You know what?
Yeah.
Here, anybody
Whoa.
wants to go to it.
Really?
I'm going to explain what the future. So one thing is called Building for the Future of Marketing. And here's what it's going to sound like. 2020 and 2021 taught us valuable, important lessons and changed the way that people use the internet. We've never seen a more digital-first shift than this past year, and here's what we can learn. People like convenience. People like things to be easy. People like things to be online. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be nothing. A whole bunch of nothings.
Well, tune in, people.
And Ginny's not going to be there, so I'm not going to
Oh, she's not?
No, she won't.
Oh, I'm out. Google Ads also launched the Google Ads Growth Formula this week. I wouldn't really call it a formula. I don't know what to call it. It's kind of like a PowerPoint presentation.
It's an embarrassment.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it stinks.
So you can pick your goal for your campaigns. It's not as garbagey as I thought, to be honest, but like I said, it's definitely not a formula. And I really loved this quote in particular. Check your impression share in your Google Ads account. It'll tell you how many impressions were gifted to competitors due to insufficient budgets.
Gifted?
Wait, they didn't pay for it? Really?
So
I didn't think
hardcore.
you pay for gifts.
Yeah, if you don't pay for impressions, we're going to give them to your competitors for free.
No,
So
it's
dumb.
bad. It's set objectives, get ready to take action, and evaluate and expand. And that's going to be the main thing. They're big. Expand.
Yeah.
It's
It's not like I just didn't see any, like they have all these like take actions, do this. And there were only a few that I thought were like really terrible, but it's not going to help anyone. That's for sure. Like, what is this PowerPoint going to help a small business owner? It's not.
It's going to do nothing.
And in some gamer news, Zynga has agreed to buy Chartboost, which is an advertising and optimization platform with a demand side and a supply side. From what I've seen in Words with Friends, Zynga does not have a problem with ads, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. There's some really fun games on Zynga right now. By the way, I've never been to their website. Harry Potter Puzzles and Spells, Game of Thrones Slots Casino.
That sounds awful.
Did you guys
Like, what?
I got 3 Targaryens in a row.
Did you guys know there's a Farmville 2 Tropical Escape?
No, but I wish I didn't know that. Looking at this picture.
What are you farming?
Papayas. I don't know.
Coconuts?
These people don't look like they're farming. Like, one's got like a surfboard, one's like a captain, one just has like a parrot.
Maybe they're farming like flare guns. You know?
I don't get it. Oh, to get off the island?
Yeah, it's tropical escape.
You should play and let us know.
Farm a boat and get out of there.
And David Satella at Satella David on Twitter says, hey, videos from the PSAC 21 PPC conference are now available here. And he links to YouTube. I cannot speak today. It has 3 days of sessions from top experts. Get them while they're hot. And I spy some amazing friends like AJ Wilcox, Akvila DeFazio, John Lee, and Kirk Williams in these. So I'm sure they are really great and you guys should check them out.
That's awesome. Hot videos from the PSAC. You love to see it.
PSAC is such a bad name.
Why?
Because it has the word sack in it.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Okay, stop.
It was hidden behind the P.
Okay, and we have more tales from PPC Reddit. This one is called Wow. 2 W's. Google Rep. Started using Google Ads a while ago, and yesterday I got an email from one of their reps. The rep emailed me and said he wanted to get on a call with me to optimize my account and bring down my CPAs. In the entire call, the only things he said were to increase the bids of particular keywords, ads, ad groups, expand my audience, etc. I asked him at the end if he wanted to bring down my cost, but why were these changes increasing my cost? He went blank for 3 seconds and said that he'd call me back in 2 hours to discuss this. He never called back.
I like that you go blank. You're like, I'll call you back 2 hours. Let me just figure out exactly what I said is going to impact you, because everything I said is the inverse of what I promised at the beginning of the call. And you go blank. And then you're like, I just need 2 hours to figure this out.
I like that the person on Reddit was just like, yeah, making all the changes. And then at the end, they're like, wait a second.
Everything went up. Everything's up.
That is just terrible.
You just got punked.
PPC Reddit is dark, man. And finally here, Paid Media Pros have an awesome new video about the changes coming to Broad Match Modified for Google Ads and Microsoft. Michelle is covering everything you need to know, including the dates these changes are happening, going through examples of how this will affect keywords, and the recommendations for what you should do in your campaigns. So definitely check that out, and check out Paid Media Pros. They have amazing videos with no bullheck and a lot of great tutorials.
Subscribe now.
Yeah. What's happening in organic?
All right. First up, by way of Barry Schwartz at Search Engine Roundtable, but really by way of the Search on the Record podcast with the Google guys, they talked about speed as a ranking factor. And there's a lot of really interesting information that came out of this, where at first it seemed like the HTTPS change was supposed to be stronger, but they realized it just couldn't be, and it ended up being more of a tiebreaker. And the big takeaway here is that just like that change, the speed and like everybody's losing their mind over core web vitals, blocking countries, talking about removing Google Analytics, removing all images from their site, that isn't going to be as big of a ranking factor as anybody thinks, but more of a tiebreaker. As I've been saying the whole time here, people. So anyway, you can check that out if you want, but it is going to be a tiebreaker, right? Like, what are we doing?
People are nuts.
I don't get it. Like, you give them a crumb of information and they just get away from the whole picture that's all just about user experience.
Well, more on that in a moment. But before that, YouTube has shared new insights into the most commonly used opening lines for YouTube, and the number one position for not only 2020, but all the way back to 2020 not only for 2020, but for 2010, for 10 consecutive years, the number one saying people open up with is, hey guys. So maybe we need to change something up. There's also a lot of what's up, some good morning, hi guys, all right. I don't know. I just kind of like this chart.
Wait, for podcasts?
No, for anybody
for
on YouTube
YouTube
talking to their audience. So you go, hey guys. That's been the number one.
Yeah. I mean, I always go, hello. I need something new too.
That's better. Hello, everybody is better.
If you say so.
So the funny thing that I thought is they broke it down by sort of category, and you could see fitness. Like the main fitness people said, what's up? The tech people said, ladies and gentlemen. Pulled their little suspenders up and said that. Travel people said, good morning. But
if it's the afternoon.
The number one, hey guys, people are ASMR.
Oh, gross.
Hey guys.
Yeah, they're like,
I'm going to play with a toy today. A Ninja Turtle.
Wait, I hate
Are
that
you getting
the last
tingles?
Hey guys.
It's like, hello, my blank, which is like they've named their subscribers.
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Oh, no.
What are our subscribers?
Oh, this
Clockers?
is a good discussion to have.
I don't know. We'll have to think about it. Sad.
Mine are
Our
inappropriate.
followers are sad.
Wow.
Hello, my sads.
Did you see PPC Reddit? It's so sad. Everything we share has to be sad.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some. Everything I have is just completely inappropriate.
Clockers is pretty good.
Hey, my clock has.
We'll move on. We'll come out.
What's
we'll come
up,
up with
Clockers?
something.
Shuttle clocks. No?
No!
No, okay, never mind. All right, next up, Bing already supports the ability for webmasters to notify Bing about URL changes via its URL submission API. But there's now a Bing content submission API, so you can go through and reduce Bing bot crawl load on sites and just immediately inject your content into Microsoft Bing if you'd like. All right, next up on the State of Direct-to-Consumer 2021 report. This was actually something very thorough, I thought. It was good. It's from SEMissupervised.com. And a few of the findings that came out of this D2C study was that online purchases increased across all business models in 2020. Over 2019, e-commerce sales grew 40% year over year. Toys and games exploded by 135%. And then there's a nice graphic showing some of the biggest saturation or the most saturated verticals within D2C. The biggest one far and away was luggage and travel accessories. Then it was fashion jewelry, and then clothing and accessories were some of the more saturated D2C brands. I thought it was funny that there's just not a lot of folks out there schlepping like D2C science. You know what I mean? Like science was low. There's not a lot of people slinging D2C tools or anything either. So
How do you sell science?
You're just like, yo, I'm Walter White, and here's chemistry. Take it. Or something.
I should know. I spent 3 hours trying to get out of the museum.
Hey, you're like, here, it's Al Borland. I got a new fence for you or something, you know? No?
I don't know what you're saying to me.
PPZ Greg lives in the 90s. He knows what I'm talking about. All right. Anyway, Google Call History Report is now showing in Google My Business. So you can see the number of calls coming in on a certain time period, answered calls, missed calls, all that. Really cool. Check it out in the show notes if you want more. From Glenn Gabe, there's a new addition to Spotify podcasting. You can now grab a timestamp and send it along and share it.
Amazing.
So you have a share from toggle that now you can do and share it right to that good moment. The one thing that Glenn said, and I already made this joke in the Discord channel here, but in Glenn's tweets, he said, Spotify's new podcast timestamps let you send your friends right to the good part. My question is, what if there's no good parts? And he said, what do you do? Send them to the shorts?
Oh, yeah. Didn't
Nobody
you say
wants
that about us?
I was going to say it'd be great for sharing your rants.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Google's helping out even more with a web stories playbook. And this article comes by way of Roger Monti.
Martini Buster.
And over on the Journal of Search Engines. And he says, although, this was one of my favorite parts, although the web stories playbook is over 100 pages long, each page contains 2 paragraphs or less of words. This format makes it easy to read and understand. So a lot of slides, a lot of pages, and not that much, not that heavy a read. I was a little confused about the image that Roger used, and I love it because I think he's like just trolling people a lot. So this image is a bunch of people with like Pantone colors. And somebody's writing something down, and there's a big Google logo there, which obviously isn't a web story. But my favorite part is, like, this seems like this person's making a big decision. They've got multiple Pantone booklets out, but they chose to leave the glasses off and put them in the corner. So I don't know how informed this decision is, and I'm worried about this person.
Well, maybe they're far. Well, I don't know. Maybe they can't see far away. That's what they needed the glasses for. You never know.
It may be. Yeah. And then, again, This Is Fine Dog Luke from Discord was talking about it could be a good way to highlight different articles on hub and topic cluster pages. After you read through it, he said it could be kind of like a visual smorgasbord of options on one page without having to click through and read every full-length article just to find the best one. Interested to see how other people use web stories. So, again, a lot of good stuff in there and a lot of options in web stories. And we're going to see... Glenn had another one coming up here in a second that is definitely one to check out if you're trying to get started in web stories. And we have marketing a talk on that we can share in the show notes. So next up, Google Events Enhancement Report is updated to show more errors. If you run events, you may see more specific errors coming through in Search Console. That's from Barry Schwartz. We've got a lot of news here, so I'm going to fly by it. Again, head on over to marketingclock.com, sign up for the newsletter if you want to see all the links, or head on over to community.marketingclock.com. Caleb will throw in all the links there each week. And next up from Data Studio, there's a present report where you can now display a report in full screen and cycle through the pages automatically, which is awesome. Mark, we were just talking about to a client with a Data Studio report, you can now show the entire thing and then hop over from page to page, which is really, really cool when showing off your data. So it's not just an aggregation tool, but also a presentation tool now, which is nice. All right, we'll keep it here in Data Studio. They now have a more streamlined toolbar, so you can easily, again, hop through all the different elements, but it's just a lot tighter. And it's, sort of the one good time when you see thin content. All right, next up from Barry Schwartz. Google search can now display emojis and jump links. For how long, he says?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's probably not that long. But I was looking at the example he gave. It's from hiddenveggies.com, and it's about vegan ham.
Yeah, that's gross.
I'm not into that. And then you're looking at the instructions.
Vegan spam.
And there's like pro tips, and it's like, what are the pro tips? For
Who are the pros?
Don't eat
Why
it.
don't you put the pro
Who's
tips?
a pro in vegan ham?
No, and then as it gets to it, and it's the fart emoji, and it says options for steaming.
Can you please explain? Why would you steam a vegan ham?
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't want it.
We need
There's nothing
Jess.
grosser, and people are going to come at me for this, but don't. Ham is disgusting.
Oh, I don't eat swine. You know that
I
about
know
me.
I like a roasted ham, like the thick cut, like whole ham.
Most people do.
But my thing
No.
is, when I have a lot of friends who are vegetarian or vegan, if they like are talking about things they miss, I have never heard anyone ever bring up ham.
No.
I agree. I think it's like the worst thing ever around Christmas time when, they bring out the big ham. You're like, this is going to be a chore to eat. It's just gross. Not good.
No. Disgusting.
Swine.
Everything about it's disgusting. And then steamed vegan ham, get lost. All right. Next up from Glenn Gabe and Barry Schwartz, there's a whole lot that was happening over on Search Engine Roundtable. Google was saying internationalized sites with the same English content across those top-level domains are not really considered duplicate content. Glenn said it needs more clarification. There's a whole lot there. If you want more on it, there's an entire thread. Head on over to marketingclock.com and sign up for that. It's a very nuanced topic, so I'm not going to go too far into it. Another great piece that was up there, I guess, for Marketing Article of the Week was how Google came to dominate local reviews from Western New York's own Mike Blumenthal over on nearmedia.co. And he covered the year-by-year transition for Google to become this behemoth in reviews and when they really took over. It's a super cool article. Check it out over on nearmedia.co. And then over on Search Engine Roundtable, man, it is just nonstop this week from Barry Schwartz. This is the name of the title of the article. And it says, Google, we do not penalize sites for using Google Analytics.
They really have to say that?
This is what we're coming to. There was a competitor called SimpleAnalytics.com that said, Google penalizes you for using Google Analytics.
That makes no sense.
Well, if you're into this core web vitals, these people that have lost their minds and can't think for themselves, and you're like, any extra thing that needs to load is going to ruin my core web vitals, like that case, it technically could hurt you if it's messing everything up, but it's not going to, obviously.
Oh my God.
And then, like, what are people going to do? You just get rid of all your analytics. Get rid of all analytics. Get rid of your images. Get rid of all the countries that don't have premium internet. Get rid of everything. Only text on there. And even get rid of the text. Plain pages. That's it.
One line.
But there was a great meme from Izzy on Fire that is Izzy Smith on Twitter. And she had the guy with the girlfriend meme, and they're looking back at the other girl in red coming. And the guy is SEOs, and the current girlfriend that's getting mad is users. And the guy's looking back at ranking factors.
That is a really good one.
Fantastic.
And
meme.
she said she made it in 2018, which is like when that meme was popping off, I think.
You know what?
So good.
Rare time you lived up to your Twitter handle. All right. And from Sundar Pichai over on Alphabet and Google, he said the future of work at Google is flexibility. The majority of our employees still want to be on campus sometime, yet many would also enjoy the flexibility of working home a couple days a week, spending time in another city or part of the year, or even moving there permanently. Google's future workplace will have room for these possibilities. We're moving to hybrid work week with most Googlers in the office approximately 3 days a week. So they're embracing sort of that hybrid approach. And then if you want to see a phenomenal web story, check out Glenn Gabe's web story over on G Squared Interactive, GSQI.com. It's about the Google product reviews update, and it is, I'm sure he hand-coded. I'm sure it's custom-coded. There's movement. There's data. There's everything you need to see, and it is a fantastic example of what to do. And then lastly, Google modifies the logo requirements for AMP structured data, and it's from Roger Monti.
Martini Buster.
And he talks about that it's now a 1-to-1 square logo. And again, another fire image from him. It's people carrying a laptop and like not a tablet, like an actual hard coded like Moses writing the 10 Commandments tablet. And then a
Not people,
keyboard.
person.
Oh, person.
Yeah.
But lots of hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's cords that aren't plugged into anything.
There's like 6 arms.
It's a lot. And it looks like Weird Al, so definitely check that out. And then there's another article. I guess I'm not done. There's another article from the Journal of Search Engines. And there's a lot of plagiarism in SaaS blogs. Like apparently 54% of the text can be found elsewhere on the web.
Solutions.
The typical SaaS blog post has 1,600 potential thieves. And it's like, what a time to be alive. Ooh. That's what you're doing. You're not robbing banks. You're not out there like Al Capone. You're being like, oh, look at, I'm going to take this paragraph from SaaStr and I'm going to take this one from Domo and I'm going to combine them. It's like you're a SaaS content thief.
Diabolical.
Sad. Just like, what is that what you call that listener? Sad. Anyway, from the AMP project, there's now AMP Campfire, and they capitalize the AMP in camp.
Oh, they never miss an opportunity.
And there's a woman who's clearly not in a doesn't have a sheet behind her. She's clearly in the outdoors talking about this campfire or something or other. So if you're into AMP, there's a new place for you. And then finally, Google My Business has wheelchair accessibility attributes now, which is awesome. The only thing I was thinking of is when we had our new office made, they put the slickest paint on there. It was like so slick we had to have them go scrape it off, put like matte paint on, and still slick. I want to have wheelchair accessibility and also like the slickness level.
Well, that's like when they put the yellow paint on stairs to be like caution. That is the slipperiest paint. Whenever I've seen it added somewhere and then it rains, it's just like people falling down those stairs all day.
And then they could end up in a wheelchair, so that just defeats the purpose.
That yellow might as well have been a banana. What's happening in social, Mark?
The moment's here, and in the words of the great poet JoJo, I have to say it's too little too late. From Clubhouse at Clubhouse on Twitter. They have a lovely image that I had to kind of pull up in a different way because we're still getting the crop on desktop, so I could not see it. But it says, "Dear Android logo, hi, love waving hand emoji. Android is finally here. You can download the Clubhouse beta right now in the US and around the world in the coming days/weeks. Before you ask, yes, still invite only. We're managing growth so we can build more sustainable infrastructure before the floodgates open. Soon-ish, in parentheses."
They're going to open those gates and a little dropper is going to drop out. There's no flood coming.
Yeah, I was just like, okay. I kind of forget about them a lot. Even I get all notifications and I haven't been on since I set up my account, but I don't know. I'm just like, who? But I loved the replies to this. We had Sylvia Swift at Sylvia_Swift on Twitter. Surely this will increase the quality of the rooms, right? And then we had Chris J, LOL, no. But my...
That's so mean.
But my favorite was Randall Gort at RJ Gort on Twitter. He gave Clubhouse a lovely little nickname. I don't know if it was a typo or if it was on
That's
purpose.
not a typo. This is not a typo. Listen.
It says, "Crab House is not scaling properly on Android. Being asked to join the session, and I can't scroll down to the button to allow me to join. And I'm only going to call this Crab House from this day forward. I honestly would be more likely to use it if it was actually called Crab House." Great name. Thank you, Randall Gore.
It sounds like he's a little crabby.
And I like that.
Yeah.
Next up in the news from Twitter at Twitter on Twitter. Show your love. Leave a tip. Now testing tip jar, a new way to give and receive money on Twitter. More coming soon. And basically, if there's a creator that you love on Twitter, you can go to their profile and there'll be an option to tip them via Bandcamp, Cash App, Patreon, PayPal, or Venmo, which is really cool. This shows some appreciation for people who are sending out those fire tweets.
Yeah, I just can't think of anything I'd pay for.
Next up from Sarah Perez of TechCrunch, Snapchat is launching a new creator marketplace that will allow businesses who don't have their own internal creative resources to be creating things on Snapchat to connect with freelance creators on the platform who specialize in creating different types of content for Snapchat. So initially, it'll be more targeted towards people who are making AR features for Snapchat that can be used for ads or lens creators. But eventually, it'll expand to include all sorts of Snap creators that can engage from businesses, even influencers. So it's like a really cool feature. And like I love when platforms just make great features like these to connect businesses and people who provide services on the platform. It's just a win for everyone. And from everyone's favorite social media legend, Andrew Hutchinson at AD Hutchinson on Twitter, Facebook has unveiled a treasure trove of new messaging features across Messenger, Instagram Direct, and Messenger Kids.
Wait, did we cover that exists?
Messenger
Kids?
I guess. I don't think we covered it, but
Why?
there's more to come on like the kid
Okay.
stuff, but basically it's like the parents can see everything going forth. And I was like reading an article about like a woman who like uses this with like her kid, and basically like it's nice for her because like her child was using her Facebook Messenger to like Facebook Messenger video like her nephew, so like the two cousins were like videoing each other that are
Take
like
your kid
6 and 8.
outside.
Yeah,
And I don't know, it's just like, and then she can see all the messages that go through the account and like without having to like have it on her phone, and she can like send her own messages without worrying about.
I
Like,
bet
her kids
Facebook
seeing
published
them.
this story.
I don't.
Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted.
It exists, but
That is dumb.
and you could, if you're using it, have cool chat themes such as
No,
a Star
they're not
Wars
cool.
background for your. Actually, that's not even on Instagram Kids or Messenger Kids rather. That's only for your Instagram DMs or Messenger. There's a new set of stickers, and this one is available for Messenger and Messenger Kids. So
It's like
apparently, each of
MySpace.
these features can only go to 2 of the 3 messaging options. It
Why?
seems. And these ones are celebrating the diversity and impact of Asian and Pacific Islanders for API Heritage Month.
Okay, that's
Month,
nice.
month, not much. And it's cool because it's not just a sticker; it includes an educational component. So if you like click on the sticker, there's like a pop-up that like gives information about Asian Pacific Heritage Month, which is like really cool to like actually. This isn't just like a gimmick; like we're actually doing something. And I could see them using this for other things. Next up, red receipts are coming to Instagram DMs, so you can now leave someone on red on Instagram too. They already had this for group messages, but you can now have it just for regular DMs on Instagram. There's also like visual replies, which allow you to reply with like a photo or video, which I thought already existed. I do that all the time, so I think it's just going to be like a different interface for that. Next, you can tap to record audio in Messenger to send like an audio message within Instagram DMs. It looks very similar to like what's in like your texting app right now. And lastly, within Messenger, there will be a swipe to archive feature that's very similar to like an email app. So you can archive all those messages you want to get rid of but don't want to delete. Next up, from Chris Kelly of Marketing Dive, Twitter has 2 updates for video. First, they are partnering with NBC Universal, Billboard, Riot Games, and more to create video content specifically for the platform. So it's again, these companies are paying people to make content for them.
Sad.
And that's kind of segueing into the next feature, which is they announced a new ad unit that's called curated categories that let advertisers run pre-roll ads on specific video categories. But the categories are very niche. So first we have health and wellness, which is like a pretty universal category. And then we go to esports, which is separate from the category that is gaming. And then we have women in sports and gaming. So those are the video categories you can target on Twitter. So we're getting very niche there. And my favorite social media that I do not use, TikTok, has engineered a set of new developer tools with 2 new SDKs that they released. The first is the TikTok login kit, which will allow apps to authenticate via your TikTok credentials, which like Facebook's been doing for so long. It makes sense that TikTok is doing it as well. And the next one is the TikTok sound kit, which in order to use this, you also have to be using the TikTok login kit. And this will leverage 2 different things. So like first, like TikTok users, AKA talkers, as I call them, can use their videos in other apps. And the more important part for TikTok is this will allow other apps to share music and other sounds back to TikTok. And this is a big deal because TikTok only has so much music that they've paid for the licensing for. And through this SDK, like if another app has secured licensing for a sound or for music, that can be shared with TikTok if that like user is using that other app.
Yeah,
as well.
I can confirm they don't have the Real Housewives of Atlanta theme, but they have every other Real Housewives theme. I wanted to make a video
I
of
feel
my
like
baby.
they have 4 songs.
No, they have a lot.
It's about 4.
They have Doja Cat's entire discography.
Yeah. They have all the Real Housewives except for Atlanta, and that's the one we're watching. That's the one Eliza knows, but we can't make a video.
I'm really sorry for you.
I know.
But
Like
hopefully
CPS.
with this new sound kit, that'll be resolved. You'll have to find another app that is on the sound kit SDK that you can share the Real Housewives theme.
I'll report back.
Yeah, probably not the Sports Ball app. From Mitchell Clark on The Verge, in the latest anti-misinformation feature on Facebook, it is here. And I am so excited. I feel like we get one of these anti-misinformation features once a month from Facebook because there's a lot being spread over there. But the newest one is a little pop-up that will prompt users to read an article before they actually share it to help decrease the spread of that misinformation. So that person that you haven't talked to since middle school can't thoughtlessly pound that smash button to share an article with a clickbaity title they agree with. I think it's great.
Nothing's new anymore.
Yeah, we'll see
Everybody
if it works.
steals from each other.
The SAS, you can't share that SAS article with copy content. And by way of at PPC Greg in Discord, Greg of the Year 2020, TikTok is testing out a new feature designed to give users access to job openings right on the app and will give participating companies access to interested applicants who will be able to use TikTok videos as their resume.
How could this go wrong?
Take that, LinkedIn.
I like this.
Dependable, excited, energetic, reliable.
I think it would filter out a lot of bad candidates very quickly.
Yeah, anyone who uses it.
And of course, there's always drama with Facebook. On Monday, the Attorney General signed a letter addressing Zuckerberg, urging him to scrap plans for Instagram Kids, Shep's favorite new app, citing mental health and privacy concerns. And the way I see it, I've like read both sides, and I think it's kind of going to be bad either way. Just because like there's like several problems here. It's just like promoting a social media for kids like obviously isn't a great thing, like mental health concerns, privacy, safety. On the other hand, a bunch of kids are going to use Instagram anyway and just like ignore that 13 and up rule. And the thing is, those kids will be safer on the Instagram for kids version than they would be on like the regular Instagram version. So there's just kind of like, as long as Facebook doesn't like put a marketing push behind it, in my opinion, I don't think it's that bad, but we'll see how this plays out. The safety precautions they're putting in are that there will be no advertising on Instagram Youth, as they are calling it internally. There will be stronger content filters, especially they're going to be stricter about the way their algorithm suggests content. And there's going to be much stronger default privacy settings on the app. And the other thing that they're working on is they're trying to create like a dashboard for parents that would let them see like the Instagram Kids and like the Messenger Kids that we talked about earlier, to give parents access to all of that information and see what their kids are up to on social media. So it's just kind of like a whole can of worms on kids and social media.
No, it's still a bad idea. Don't allow your kids on Instagram. Co-parenting also.
Mm-hmm.
Am I crazy?
Yeah, well, you're calling CPS on me because we have a joint TikTok, but
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
You should be at your house any moment now.
don't get too spicy over there. Because if your tweets are too spicy, Twitter is going to give you a little reply prompt. So Twitter has this new feature that detects language in your tweets that could be abusive, trolling, or offensive. And they're going to give you a little notification before you tweet to like ask you to review it before sending. It's kind of like the virtual version of that friend you have that's always stopping you from getting fights in a bar.
love it.
Mm-hmm. And there are some issues with it, like it can't detect sarcasm yet.
Oh,
It's
so-
having
Oh,
trouble
wow.
with like friendly banter and like reclaimed language.
Reclaimed language?
That's like when someone you reclaim a slur, so people can't use that slur against you. So like the word queer is an example of that.
Gotcha.
Um,
I thought you meant somebody's like making fun of somebody because they took their insult and like, I know you are, but what am I?
There's also people who can't detect sarcasm, so what are they supposed to do?
yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But
You
can
get banned. I don't know.
They have a feedback system for it where you can be like, nope, that's wrong. So they're working on it. Like Twitter is like us. We're all it's like working on ourselves.
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
I'll go first. Google Ads Editor has been giving me some trouble since the most recent update. One of my perfectly normal headlines kept getting flagged for no reason. It just said like it was an invalid headline, and then at one point it just accepted it after I tried 5 times. It made no sense. But I guess I'm not alone because PPC Greg also said in Discord that he was having issues and getting flagged for capitalization when he capitalized the first letter of every word in the headline. Or maybe it was a description. But either way, I've done both. Like, it's allowed. So figure it out, Google Ads Editor.
Mm-hmm. I'm also having problems with Google Ads. And very similar issue, but mine is on the trademark detection side. So they will not stop flagging everyday words. And today I had an ad disapproved because apparently the word streamline is a trademark. And I'm not that mad because like I'd love to never use that word again. But hello, it's probably in 80% of B2B ads. Why is it getting disapproved? And then I love where it's like, why it doesn't meet trademark requirements? And it's like, this does not meet reseller requirements. I'm like, who is reselling Streamline? What is that? What brand named themselves Streamline? And if there is a brand that is Streamline, I hope their competitor is named Synergize.
Yeah.
All right. And something working hard in my accounts is from Google Ads. And it's just a reminder that you can make custom column metrics. You can add different metrics together. There's a minor filtering that you can do as well. I'm probably going to put a blog post out about this and share some stuff in Discord at community.marketingclock.com. But I just made like an actual ROAS that wasn't decimal. I turned it into percentage, and I use that all the time because a lot of times I'll show things live. And it's just annoying to translate that. You can do things and see like the return from search partners versus non. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. And it's just a reminder, if you don't have the exact metric, there's a chance you might be able to create it yourself with the custom metrics in Google Ads. I love it.
Awesome.
And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners. And is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool is the schema.org version of the structured data markup, which is now in a live beta. We found out about this from tldrmarketing.com. And if you want to check it out, just head on over to validator.schema.org to give it a test yourself. And the folks at Sitebulb have also created a handy bookmarklet so you can quickly test a page in this new schema.org markup validator with just a click of a button. So handy.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
And this week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from Fio DeSato at Content 101 over on the ahrefs.com, ahrefs.com site. And she covers the content calendar guide, goes through why you should create a content calendar, how to create the content calendar, real examples of content calendar, and tips for getting the most out of your content calendar. And go give her a follow at Content 101. Thank you, Fio.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Remember, you can catch everything from the show by signing up for our newsletter over on marketingclock.com.
While you're there, please be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss a single episode.
And we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock, part of the Search Engine Journal Podcast Network. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com for links to all the articles that we covered. And please be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode.
Welcome to this week's Shootin the Heck. We're after our famous Friday news show. We don't talk about marketing anymore. We just
shoot the heck.
Okay, so full disclosure, we're in different clothes and Greg isn't here. It's the next day because Greg and Mark had a sales call yesterday. So we're back. Greg's working from home. We have Caleb here and we couldn't not give you Shootin the Heck. So we're going to do it now.
It's the most important part of the show.
Right. Okay. So I have poke holes in it this week and I'm excited to see your feedback because I find these ideas to be completely unpokeable.
Wow.
I feel like they're very pokeable already off the bat.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, so first of all, it was Mother's Day this weekend and it's just so stressful. Like you have to go all over the place. You have to please everyone. You have like moms to see, grandmas to see, great grandmas in my house. I think instead of Mother's Day and Father's Day, when you become a mother or a father, you choose your day. It's an additional day to your birthday and everyone celebrates you on that day.
How do people remember that?
They have to remember it. It's your mom. You have to remember your mom's birthday. And then the only hole that I saw was that you can't marry someone whose like mom has the same Mother's Day as your mom. So you just have to like put it on your Tinder profile.
Is this like a thing that you do in advance? Like you're like, oh, August 14th is going to be.
Yeah. So like you have your baby and it's like you get this reward. You get to pick your day.
I say no because I know my mom would never pick a day. She's that like
she has to
and single focus. Nah, I don't think so.
Oh my, she has to. It's the rule.
And this is just gonna be too much because I think like Mother's Day also like gets tough for like my godmother and like my grandma and like if you have like a lot of those people in your life, this is like too many days to
You just get a calendar.
So you're
you have to remember like, all their birthdays.
Like they have birthdays. So,
it's
like,
one more day.
No, I'm pro Mother's Day.
Everyone should have their own day.
You can have your own day.
What if everyone picks like the same week? You know, like everyone picks the literal same week. Oh.
Well, also I have another layer because I have a December birthday and it's just like not fair for my life. So I should get to pick like a summer day where people have summer birthdays should have to pick the winter.
I agree with this. My birthday like falls on Thanksgiving every few years. So
condolences.
Yeah,
it's really hard.
It sucks.
Okay, well I didn't hear any valid points, so we're gonna start initiating this, and I'm gonna pick like July 15th for myself.
I'll remember that.
Okay. My next idea. So I went to Wegmans, our grocery store, for the first time, literally since Thanksgiving this weekend. And it just reminded me how terrible it is. So there's really three main problems with the grocery store. Number one, it's a terrible place. Number two, crowd control. Everyone wants to go on Sundays, right? Or Saturdays.
Yeah.
Number three, you can't please everyone with the music. You know, the soundtrack has to be universally liked, and that's just impossible. So I think that we should take this problem and address it the same way that the bars do. You have themed days and nights for shopping. Because I was there in the section, Ladies Love Country Boys came on, and it took everything in me to not be like, blaring, Leonard Skinner yelling, turn it up. I was the only person there enjoying it.
I just want to say, like, I totally thought you were going to say, like, we give everyone a pair of headphones, and then, like, you can just tune into whatever you want.
No, because then everyone could still go at the same time. So you have, like, pop hits on, like, Tuesday night. Try to control the crowd. Sunday, you have the country music because nobody but me will want to go.
Okay, but what happens when you don't get your shopping done because of work or something until Friday, and Friday is polka night, but you still have to go and get
Exactly.
it just
You
stinks.
learn the hard way, and then you don't do it again.
They should play displeasing music on the weekends.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
because
but
then
what
more people will go on the weekdays.
But what happens if like your partner wants to go on like hip hop night, but you're feeling country?
Oh, you gotta go alone. That's just more people in the grocery store if you go with your partner.
I do not like grocery shopping with other people at all.
It's really
I get so
stressful.
frustrated. I am like, I have my car. I am like running through the grocery store, just like throwing things in. Like, I want to be in there as little time as possible. Like, but full disclosure, I just use Instacart because I like hate going to the grocery store.
Yeah, I have too. But this, hearing Ladies Love Country Boys, like made me see it could be nice if it was all music you liked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have no holes to poke, so I win.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
I actually, the only like valid thing is I wonder how that'd be for like employee retention.
Oh boy.
Like, I think some employees would find it very fun.
Yeah, same thing with like bartenders though. You just have to maybe try to get the shift you want, and it's not always.
Yeah, there's just a lot more workers to coordinate at Wegmans.
Yeah, but if I had to work on like, I don't know, classical night, and you just hearing Beethoven like for 12 hours, I couldn't
it's
do
like
it.
peaceful.
But then you'd also get like all the old people, and it'd be a little more relaxed probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on which old people.
So we need to instate that one. That one's good. Okay, my last idea. So at church, we always forget money for the collection basket. And it's like really embarrassing. Nobody carries cash anymore, whatever. So we just started donating online. We have a monthly recurring one set up. But now we have the problem where we go in and they stick the basket in your face and you look like a heartless person because you don't put any money in when you already donated online. So I think we need buttons that say, I already donated.
Because Catholics are so judgmental.
Yes.
And maybe they could just stop being judgmental.
Right. But in the meantime, what do you guys think about my buttons?
I hate to admit it, but I really like this because in my church you have to walk up to drop off your donation at the front.
Oh
So
my gosh,
you
that's
don't-
even worse.
Yeah, so I would 100% take a button.
Can you just like put like a donation receipt in the basket?
Oh, that's a good idea too. No, but that's more paper that you have to remember to bring. You're never going to remember it. Put your button in your car and wear it every week.
Why don't they just put like a Venmo or a Cash App like QR code right at the front when you walk in?
Yeah, can you just like Venmo the person doing collections?
That'd be a great idea too.
Like, yeah, I just sent Father Jackson like $40 for the week. You know what I mean?
Like, you know, like some churches have like the projector screens. They just like throw up like during collection, like Venmo, Cash App, PayPal.
And the amount
like
you
four.
donated. The amount you donated, that would make you donate even more.
Oh, like a stock ticker?
Yeah.
And it says like
Bad.
4.
That is not quite right.
Okay, well, it's all in the name of charity, so I had 3 great ideas today.
But also when you... So sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
But when you said button, I thought you were saying like a button you would push to donate and it would come from your bank account.
Oh, that would work too. But then
Yeah.
you have to pay to set it up. Buttons are much cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, call me. I have great ideas all the time. So we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching this episode of Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more, we release new episodes every Friday with all the digital marketing news of the week. You can listen and subscribe wherever you consume your podcasts. Or click to read all the articles from this show or watch the previous episode.